Hi, you guys. It's Yaz, and today I'm going to talk about when you move on from the narcissist, what do you think that narcissist is going to do when you finally decide, you know what, I've had enough, I'm moving on, my life is going another direction? Well, that narcissist is going to panic. That's what they're going to do. Narcissists don't want you to move on. They don't want you to go and live your life and maybe live your life with someone else and be happy. No, they don't want that. They always want you hooked on them. That's what the narcissist wants. They always want to know that they have control over you. So when you move on, the narcissist is going to be in a state of disarray, okay? They're going to really start to panic because they're losing control of you. See, the narcissist is so used to you chasing them, so used to knowing that you were so into them. You know, at one point, whether you realize it or not, you gave the narcissist your power. And now when you move on, that narcissist no longer has power over you. And so that's going to cause that narcissist to go into a frenzy. So what is that narcissist going to do? Well, they're going to do a couple of different things. First of all, they may try to hoover you. Nobody hoovers you more than a narcissist who sees you doing good, okay? So keep this in mind. Narcissists, and I mentioned this in many of my short reels and videos, they're always watching you. They're always trolling your social media. No matter what happened, they still watch their exes. So they're going to be watching your social media and they're going to be seeing how you're doing. You know, that's why, don't leave your stuff on public because it's none of the narcissist's business how you're doing. And when they see that you're doing well, maybe you're moving on even into another relationship or you're just doing well in your life, that's when they're going to try to come back and wreak havoc on your life once again, okay? So they'll come back, they'll hoover you, they'll tell you how you been, I've been thinking about you, I miss you, whatever it could be. The love bombing starts again. And this is to get in your head. Now, I'm going to tell you guys about another way that they hoover. And somebody actually came up to me and told me about this. She asked me a question. She said, I moved on to another relationship and the narcissist keeps liking my pictures with me and the new guy that she's with. He keeps liking all the pictures. She said, what's that all about? I said, well, what he's doing is he's trying to get in your head. That's what he's trying to do. By liking those pictures is to get in your head and make you think about him. All right. In other words, it's a passive aggressive way. The narcissist is being passive aggressive to get in your head, almost as saying like, oh yeah, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. But they're really not happy for you. They're really not happy for you because it's a loss to the narcissist. So it's for you to reach out to him and say something. What better way to get you to communicate than to like your pictures, okay? To like your pictures. First of all, I hope you don't have your ex-narcissist on your social media because you shouldn't. But sometimes people have public pictures and ex-narcissists can see what you're posting and everything. And sometimes they actually do it from, a catfish profile. But in this instance, he wanted her to know it was him liking the pictures because he wanted to get in her head. That's the real answer, is he wanted to get in her head so that maybe she would feel bad. Okay. Like, oh, am I doing the right thing by moving on with this other guy? Or, maybe I should thank them for liking my picture. It's basically to mind fuck you. That's what he's doing. He's trying to mind fuck you. And what's that going to do? I'm going to tell you what that's going to do. That's going to confuse you. And that's exactly what it did. It confused her. And that's why she came to me and she said, I don't know why my ex is liking pictures of me with my new guy. Well, it's to confuse you and make you go crazy, okay? Thinking like, oh, he still cares about you, all right? He still cares about you. what he's trying to do, like I said, the main objective is to get in your head. And what is that going to do? That's going to mess up your relationship with this new guy, because you're going to always be thinking about that ex. There he is again, liking your pictures. Not today, Satan. That's why you got to block these people. Your ex is your ex for a reason. A guy friend of mine said that to me a long time ago when I was thinking about going back to somebody. He said, no, don't go back. He said, your ex is your ex for a reason. All right. So, that'll probably get copied, but I'm just telling you guys my story. All right. So the bottom line is, narcissists want to screw you up from moving on in your life because they're jealous. They don't want you to be happy, and they're losing control. They still want control over you, and they still want to walk back into your lives. This is why a lot of times they still want to stay friends with you. They want to stay friends with you, not because they want to be your friend, all right, you guys? That's all gaslighting. And this is what they'll say a lot of times when you break up. Oh, well, can we still be friends? You know what that equals to? I'm going to tell you what that line equals to. When they say, oh, I still want to be, can we still be friends? That means basically that they still want an opportunity to walk back in your life. That's what that means. And they still want to know what's going on in your life, because narcissists, they're very nosy. They want to know what's going on in your life, right? So, not today, Satan. You have to block, delete, because they're going to keep popping up. And if you had a difficult breakup, this messes people up. This messes people up where they can't move on in life, because the narcissist is always lurking around in the background and always popping up and always getting in your head. This is why no contact is so crucial to your healing, because you're not, you have to go no contact with a narcissist, because every time they come back into your life, it's going to weaken you. Every time you talk to them, let's say you don't go no contact, right? Every time you talk to them, that trauma bond, it's going to be harder to break. All right. That's why the longer you go no contact, the stronger you become. And narcissists know it. And that's why they always want to be around. They always want to pop up here or pop up there. And it's basically because they want to still hold on to you. They're still trying to hold on to you, because even if they're with somebody else, and I had somebody else ask me this, they said, I don't understand this. He's with somebody else. Why does he keep contacting me? Because he doesn't want to let you go. Because he wants you. You're like an old shoe he can't get rid of. He doesn't use that shoe, but he still wants to keep you around. Okay? Because he doesn't want to feel like he's losing control of you. And he doesn't want you to move on in your life and be happy. And this could happen the opposite way as well if you're dealing with a female narcissist. You guys have to understand something. When I podcast about narcissism, it could go male or female. Narcissism is not gender specific. Okay? So just because I give you one scenario with maybe a female to male narcissist, it doesn't mean it can't happen with a male to female narcissist as well. So understand this. This is for male or female. And I just need to point that out because some people, they don't understand. So that's what's going on with that. They troll your social media. They monitor you. They want to see how you're doing. And the minute that they see that you're doing well is the minute that they want to come back into your life and fuck it up. That's what they want to do. They want to come back in your life and fuck it up so that you don't move on and be happy. Because again, narcissists are jealous of your happiness. I mentioned this in my older podcast. Narcissists are just extremely jealous and envious people. And so when they see that you don't need them, you're moving on, you even might have somebody new, or maybe you don't have somebody new, but you're doing well for yourself. Ding dong, here comes the narcissist. Uh-oh, they're doing well. Let me come back in so I could screw up their head so they're still sweating me, or I can mess it up somehow. All right. Now, another thing that a narcissist will do when they see you're doing well, and they can't really communicate with you directly. What they're going to do is they're going to make a phony profile on social media, and they're going to make comments on your public posts, or if they're on your page, which they shouldn't be on your page, they're going to make comments, sarcastic remarks. Every time you post a picture, they're going to put some kind of passive-aggressive, subtle, sarcastic remark on your social media to make you feel bad. This is what the narcissist wants to do. They want to break your self-confidence. So when you start to get these comments on your social media from a profile you don't recognize, 9 times out of 10, it could be your ex that's trying to break your shine. This is what they do. They love to break your shine and make you feel bad about yourself. Let's say you lost weight and you posted a picture of yourself where you lost weight. There'll be a comment on there from your ex, from a fake profile, saying something like, you still don't look good, or something like, oh, you need to work on this, or this. They'll say something to make you feel bad. Not today, Satan, because now you know who you are, and you're not going to be swayed by some narcissist that's trying to take away your power, okay? So they're going to try to make a remark anonymously, or if they can, they're going to try to hoover you back and try to, mess up your new relationship if you moved on to a new relationship, or if you're doing well. They also come back too when they see you moving on and doing well, because maybe there's a benefit, all right? Let's say you got a raise, or you built a business or something, and the narcissist, light bulb moment, the narcissist says, oh, look at them. They're doing well in their career. Oh, look at them. They making a business out of something. I think I'm going to come back in their life because you know what? That's a good supply. Maybe I can get in on that supply. Now they want to come back. They see you doing well and they want that supply. You see this, you guys, even with celebrities, okay? Like there's a big basketball celebrity who never spoke to his father his whole life, okay? Like the father was never there for him his whole life. And as soon as this guy became a big, basketball star, who comes back in? The father, okay? Because he saw that his son is doing well. Now all of a sudden he wants a relationship with his son, okay? All those years that his son, he abandoned his son and was not around for his son. But now that he sees he's a big star, he comes back and he wants to be in his life. And this happens a lot, okay? Happens a lot to a lot of people that become rich and famous or celebrities. The parents that abandon them, they all of a sudden now want to become part of that person's life again, okay? Because they see a supply. They see a supply. So they come back. They say, oh, I missed you. I always loved you, son or daughter or whatever it is, okay? And this is what they do when they see you've moved on and you're doing well. That's a different kind of scenario, okay? Now, also what they're going to do when you're doing well is, of course, smear you, okay? Smearing is one of their favorite tactics. Narcissists love to smear you. And they especially love to smear you when you've exposed them, okay? There'll be nonstop smearing when you expose a narcissist because their ego, they just can't take the fact that you exposed them and showed everybody that they are a liar, a deceiver, a copycat, whatever. So they're going to be constantly smearing and a lot of times doing it in a passive-aggressive manner because that's the way they are. They're toxic, okay? They're toxic, but who cares? Because, you're dealing with a toxic person, so nobody cares what they say, okay? Now, let's talk about when they can't get to you and now they've got to cope with the fact that you're moving on. Well, when they see you're moving on, and especially if they see you've moved on to somebody else, they're going to be trying to have as much sex as possible. That narcissist is going to be trying to have as much sex as possible. They're going to be going out there, sleeping around because they feel like, now you got somebody new in your life. they've got to make up for that. They've got to make up for that hurt. So they're going to make sure that they have as much sex as they can because they want to feel good about themselves. They don't want to feel rejected seeing you move on or maybe seeing you move on with somebody else. So in order to make themselves feel better, they've got to have sex with a lot of different people so they feel like they're wanted. They're wanted. Oh, I had sex with 10, 20 people this week or whatever, okay? Who cares? You moved on. Oh, you just have that person, but I got 10 people that really want me. This is how the narcissist really thinks. I'm telling you, this is how they think. I've had narcissists say to me, oh, well, I wouldn't care if you cheated on me because I cheated on you long before and I had many partners, okay? So that's how they think. It's a competition with them. It's a competition. Like with the narcissist, they feel the more partners they've had, the better they are a person. Oh, they're a better person because they've had more sex. And that equates in their mind to the fact that more people want them. No, you could have sex with a multitude of different people. It doesn't mean the person you have sex with wants you, okay? It just means the person is using you for something, right? But, they're distorted in their thinking. So this is what the narcissist, when you move on, they're going to be doing all these kinds of things. They're going to be trying to find ways to hold you back and keep you hooked on them. They also, if it's a case where you're divorced and you have kids and they see you moved on, they'll try to play games like maybe not come get the kids, okay? Because they want to take away your freedom from moving on in your life. So they figure, if I don't come and get the kids, now you're stuck with the kids and you won't have your freedom to live your life. This is what narcissists do, okay? How do I know? Because I've been through this, okay? I've been divorced. I was married to a narcissist. This is how I know all these things, and this is why I could bring this to you guys, all right? I'm not just reiterating what somebody else says and putting it in my podcast. They try to also make problems for you. When they see that you're moving on, they could try to do things like call the authorities on you to try to burst your bubble for something, try to provoke you online. But when all of these other things are not working and they see like they don't have any impact on you and they really can't get you back, then what they're going to do is they're going to try to make themselves feel better by trying to make themselves feel wanted, and they're going to go be love bombing a million different people to try to feel that they're wanted again, okay? So when they see that the smearing doesn't work, when they see that nothing works and that you are non-responsive to that narcissist, this is when you really destroy the narcissist, by the way. When you're non-responsive to the narcissist and they see like they have no effect on you whatsoever, okay? That's when the narcissist really panics and loses control. And in this type of case, they'll try to hurt you in some way. Like I said, maybe call the authorities for something on you, some fictitious, some false type of claim. When narcissists don't have anything on you, they'll make false claims up, okay? And this is where they could get into trouble. This is where they can get into trouble because if you make false accusations at somebody, for whatever reason, they could be held responsible for that as well. So they get desperate, though. This is what they do. They get desperate. So they're going to pull anything out of the hat to try to hurt you because you've caused a narcissistic injury by moving on. And narcissists never want to see you move on. They always want to know that you're around and that they could bounce to you at any point. So, that's when you just turn your back and you just give them no supply, you don't respond to them, you don't get angry, nothing, okay? And that's showing the narcissist that, they have no control over you whatsoever. So when they feel they have no control over you, they're going to lose control. And like I said, a desperate narcissist who sees you moving on is going to try to hurt you. Once they realize that the hoovering and the love bombing's not working, then they may try to hurt you by smearing you on social media, by calling the authorities on you, by making false accusations about you. And then lastly, what they'll do is they'll try to have a lot of sex to make themselves feel good or feel important, okay? Because narcissists equate promiscuity with love, okay? The more sex they have with somebody, the more they feel loved. And I know that a lot of female narcissists are like this as well, okay? And I've seen them. I've personal experience. I have seen them where they have become very promiscuous because that's their way of feeling like they're loved, okay? That's how they feel like they're loved. And it goes the same way too for male as well, okay? So these are all the things that'll happen, you guys, when you move on. Just know that when you move on, you're going to have one unhappy narcissist, and just hope that narcissist is busy in their own life and they leave you alone. And that's another thing I want to point out that's, a crucial element in all this. If the narcissist is happy in their life, let's say they got a lot of supply and everything, they're more likely to not bother you as much because they're busy with other people. But when you have a narcissist that doesn't have much going on in their life, you got a broke, busted, desperate narcissist, okay? You got a broke, busted, desperate narcissist. This is the one who could be a problem. This is the one who could be stalking you, watching you, and trying to cause problems for you. So just be aware of that, okay? And, if it's a malignant narcissist, then you really got to be careful. You really got to be careful because a malignant narcissist will stalk you and could be violent and dangerous. So you have to always be careful, especially if you move on with somebody else, okay? That's when you're going to be really, really in danger. If you're dealing with a malignant narcissist, you have to be careful because then they're really going to feel like they're losing control. We see this on the crime stories like Dateline and 48 Hours, where the malignant narcissist saw that their ex moved on to somebody else and then somebody else got hurt, okay? So be careful if you're dealing with a malignant narcissist, and a covert narcissist will do things under the radar like smearing you, calling the authorities, and just trying to cause problems for you, okay? I hope that helps you. If it does, hit the subscribe button, share the podcast. If you're looking for confidential one-on-one phone coaching, check out the link in the bio at askyaz.wixsite.com/thegameexposed. I have limited time. I'm working on this other project, you guys. Also, check out my YouTube at the Game Exposed podcast. I lay it all out. I think I covered almost everything on narcissism. So if you go to my channel at the Game Exposed podcast, go to the search bar on my channel and just search for whatever you're looking for, and you should find a lot of videos on it, okay? I've done a lot of videos on discard, covert narcissist, malignant narcissist, manipulation tactics, silent treatment, stonewalling. It's all on my YouTube, so check it out at the Game Exposed podcast. Also, check out Facebook at the Game Exposed, the Game EXP123. TikTok is the Game Exposed, and Instagram is the Game EXP123. And have a great day, you guys.